What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for another edition of the FishReel, where we keep it real on all things film and TV and flick it up. I'm your host, the one and only the Fish Flicks. Today, I am absolutely ecstatic for this interview. I've been waiting on doing this ever since I went to ABFF back in June. I went to go check out this man's film called The ReWrite. It is having its world LA premiere at the Michaud Film Festival next week on Friday at 6:45. So be on the lookout. Stay tuned for that if you want to go check it out. But man, this man, he is a true one and only auteur. He is a great storyteller. He has won now the Martha's Vineyard Film Festival for a short film showcase back in 2022. And then 3 years later in 2025, he won it for Best Narrative Feature for the one and only The ReWrite. It's my one and only special guest today, Mr. Terry Dawson. My brother, how are we doing today?
Man, this is better than Club Shay Shay. I love that.
You know, I get a little bit of inspiration from this.
Okay.
Yes, sir, man. How we doing?
Man. I'm good, man. I'm good. As you mentioned, we're gearing up for the LA premiere of the film, which is Friday. So we're days away now and just putting the pieces together, man. Excited to get out there. This will be, as you mentioned, the film world premiered at ABFF, then it went to Martha's Vineyard. It's done some other festivals. We haven't done an LA screening yet. So this is going to be the first time our full cast and crew are seeing the film. So it's, it's a different level of excitement, but anxiety too. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, I've already known, especially it's only right to bring it home for the LA premiere where it was shot and based at. So it's only right. And I'm so excited. I'm gonna be there to support him. I've been waiting to watch this movie again. I can't get my hands on no 4K copy yet. So
I love it, man. Okay.
I'm a physical media guy. So I gotta I try to have the collection. So
yeah, man, I appreciated that review you gave us coming out of ABFF. I came back to LA showing that to everybody, and everybody was just like, this should just be the official review of the film. Like, nothing else matters after this. Like, we really appreciated that, man. I appreciated it so much. I thought that was amazing.
Thank you, man. Let me make sure to give you your flowers, man. I was just catching up on some of your work. I still got to finish The Whole New Irving, but I did check out that screener for The Mason Ring as well. I heavily enjoyed that. I see why it won at Martha's Vineyard at 2022. And then when I watched The ReWrite back in June, I was just sitting there because, when I read the synopsis for it, when I was getting ready to go to ABFF earlier in the summer, I read the synopsis. I was like, hey, that sounds really good. I didn't see if you had no trailer, nothing. Synopsis just sold me. And man, just watching it on the screen at ABFF, it was amazing. It felt like really life-changing because when you go to these film festivals, as a little film media pundit, critic, whatever you want to call me, and just you have the love for film, it truly did inspire, especially with the story of you wanting Black authenticity in film and just wanting to put his film out and have his art out. It was truly inspiring to me, and it connected me on so many levels. So man, I say thank you so much for that, and major props to you. You're getting all the love from these festivals throughout, and it's much deserved. So major shout out to you.
It's a lot, man. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Let's conversate. Big time film director. I see you started out with the mini web series in 2017 with The Whole New Irving, and it was originally supposed to be being picked up by HBO before the pandemic hit, correct?
Yeah, so that was the Whole New Irving came about because I've been living in LA by that point for, I'll say about, man, I don't want to date myself, but I was coming up on my 15-year mark. And I remember thinking at the time I was editing and producing, working for a production company. We were mostly doing environmental documentaries, doing a lot of traveling. I've been to Africa and Brazil working on these documentaries, not just working as an editor, but also getting to go as like a kind of like a unit production manager or like second unit director in these locations and everything. And I was loving it. Life was beautiful, but man, I swear I just reached this point where I was like, this is cool. But when I got in my car to drive cross country, it was not to edit and produce documentaries. It was to write and direct features. You know what I'm saying? I was really like committed to course correcting, to getting back on track. I was like, I don't want to hit this 15-year mark and still be like stuck with this feeling. You know what I'm saying? I said, let me just start kind of figuring out what I want to do, how I can make that pivot. And at the time, I would say Awkward Black Girl and High Maintenance were like the two fairy tale stories of like web series that had been developed in a TV series. So I was kind of looking at those like, I'm gonna do something kind of like this. And I conceptualized The Whole New Irving, and I was able to put out 4 episodes of it on YouTube. I always say that show never quite went viral, but it got seen by the right people
Mhm,
because at the time, Jay Ellis, who was on Insecure, and his producing partner, a guy named Aaron Bergman, they were just launching their production company and looking for projects to develop. And someone directed them to a whole new Irving.
mhm,
And I had a meeting with them. They loved the project. And we pitched it to, I think, 6 different networks, and we were shocked. HBO was the one that wanted it. And actually, though, we bombed the pitch, which was crazy. I remember us standing at the valet being like, dang, man. He was like, hey, bro, we gave it our best shot. And he called me like 24 hours later, like, they want the show. And I was like freaking out. So we developed it to yes, it went into development at HBO. It did not ultimately get a pilot order. I like to say it died of COVID. But that happens in the development spaces more often that it doesn't move forward than that it does.
mhm.
It was heartbreaking, but that happens. It was still a good first swing.
Yeah, so would you say, like, it really did, like, kinda set you on the path, like, to solidified for you, like, "Yo, I'm a filmmaker, and I really wanna fully take this on and get to doing my own features and so forth?"
Yeah, man. I would say it was the thing that made me say, sometimes you need that confirmation from God, the universe, wherever. They're like, all right, you on to something. Because to work as hard as I did to get that made and for it to wind up at HBO, which was the dream, you know what I'm saying? It was like,
Mhm,
first one out the gate, that was feeling kind of like, okay, you're not just pipe dreaming here. You can do this. You can, you got this. Yeah, and then I would say when it didn't go forward there was this feeling of like I didn't get that close to victory to not get this across the finish line. So it was like
mhm,
that rejection, I'll call it, or them passing on it. Obviously, ultimately, is like it just propelled me to want to move forward even harder for the next one.
mhm. So, yeah, so you would say you were always kind of, like, a long time, like, born and raised, like, cinephile? We say, like, you always loving film and TV growing up?
Always loving film and TV. Yeah, always love film and TV. And not only that, but I'll say that, like, not only did I always like film and TV, but I always like shows that nobody else in my demographic was watching, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I totally get that for real, yeah.
I remember being, like, in middle school on, like, Tuesday in the lunchroom, everybody talking about what happened on Fresh Prince of Blossom the night before, and I'm like, "So nobody watched Murphy Brown? Y'all ain't wanted to see what's going on CBS? Because right on that show was a lot smarter. Y'all don't fuck with Murphy?" Just sitting there like, "Alright, I'm not even gonna argue this right now." I've always watched everything. I've always loved everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, taste has been all over the place since I was a little kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
always loved TV.
I could definitely connect with you on the taste being all over the place and wanting to watch, the whole other thing that everybody else want to watch. So, like, I could say for me personally, like growing up with my family, we'd be like, well, yeah, let's go watch the next Tyler Perry movie. I'm like, but the Wolverine is out right now. Why can't we go watch that? Yeah, I totally get that, always because you have like the mainstream and then like the certain
Yeah,
type of demographics, types films and projects. And then so for like cinephiles and like us lovers of just the genre period is like you always want to branch out and explore like, okay, there's kind of more out there. So look, what's out there instead of just right here in my face that everybody else is watching, you'd say, yeah.
absolutely. Did you do
So
film school?
yeah, I did. I actually went to UNLV.
Okay, okay, cool. I feel like film school is when I kinda got into a place where it was like, it was okay to like whatever you wanna like, you know what I'm saying? That's when
Yeah.
the weirder the better, you know what I'm saying, once you kinda got into that space.
Like film school, like that's a really great example because film school, I was never watching foreign language films at all like that. And then as soon as I got there, I'm watching One Cut from the Dead, Pedro Almodovar type films. I
Okay.
had a whole class on him. I'm like, yo, it's like some really weird and complex types of
But
projects. And then
amazing stuff, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, and then
Amazing.
you just sit there and watch. You're like, you see the different types of storytelling going on with the different and weird ideas. I say you agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah, did you attend film school as well?
I went to Hofstra in Long Island,
Mhm.
and I did 1 year at the grad film program at Howard. I'm not usually a quitter in life, but I did 1 year at the grad film program, came out here for what was supposed to be like a 1-month house sitting gig and just never went back. So I got one half of a master's degree that's still unpaid for. I put it that way in film.
I get that. That makes me ask. Okay, so you're not from LA. So where are you from exactly?
And shit.
DC? Okay, nice, nice. That's good to hear. I never even knew that. So yeah, so you came from the East Coast and then relocated to LA and then got on the filmmaking journey on from there.
I went to film school in New York, so I
Oh,
kinda
New
knew
York.
that that's what I wanted to be doing, and when I moved back to DC, I only applied to 2 grad schools for film. I applied to NYU and Howard's grad film program. I knew it was very 2 very different programs, gonna be 2 very
Mhm.
different experiences, and I got into Howard, I went back home for a year, but I moved to LA after that. Been here ever since, man. It's been yeah, I've been here a minute.
You
Yeah,
loving
so
it, man? You just loving it? You feel like that's where you're gonna be at for the rest of your life? Can you see yourself going back to the East?
I mean I like the LA lifestyle. I love the sunshine and I love the LA lifestyle. LA has changed a lot, particularly in the last 5 years, man. I mean, we could have a whole nother episode about just what's going on in the industry and the town being in this transformative place and it just feeling so dead.
Yeah. It's looking like it's the next Detroit, everybody keeps saying.
I had that thought just the other day, to be honest with you. I was driving down one street and it was just like closed business one after the other. I was like, yo, this is like Detroit after the housing crisis right here. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
crazy. Really crazy.
You're just seeing
So
different reports left and right about the industry, just more and more jobs just being lost out there.
crazy, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
So throughout your time living in LA, like it has shaped you and molded you in ways, especially as a filmmaker. So how would you say, not just professionally, how has it affected you as an artist or like personally living in LA?
How has it affected me? I mean, I guess I would not be being truthful if I didn't say I completely have embraced the whole like LA healthy lifestyle culture. I'm definitely all about that. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like when I was in film school in New York, I thought I was John Michelle Basquiat. I had dreadlocks and coffee in one hand, a cigarette in the other. I thought I had this whole thing going. Now I'm in LA, I'm hitting the gym every day and drinking my alkaline water and my sea moss and all of that. So I would say definitely the healthy lifestyle vibes are definitely an LA thing. That's definitely something that is kind of baked in. I think it was born out here and it's kind of baked in at this point.
You still get your good eats in, the mom and pop spots, right?
I do. I do. Those are just exceptions, not the rule, That's a special occasion type stuff.
Oh yeah, it's from like a celebration meal or something.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, so yeah, it's really been a great journey for you throughout, man, throughout living
And
in LA.
yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's definitely, I mean, like I said, I spent that first probably decade being in another lane, with the editing and producers. So I
Hmm.
think if anybody told me I'd be, this long making my first feature, if you told me that 20 years ago, I probably would have turned around and drove right back home. So it's been a journey, there's been a lot of patience, I think, and just perseverance, but also just realizing that, a lot of times that time is like your development and being dedicated to the craft too. You know what I'm saying? Like with every project, you get a little better. You learn something new. You fail and you figure out what you want to do different the next time. And so that's more than anything else. It's really just been dedicated to being a better filmmaker, being dedicated to the craft of it.
So yeah, so I've seen like just throughout your various roles on these projects, like it's evolved over time and seeing, especially with the rewrite as well. So I see that you directed, you wrote, and you edited. And so with the editing, in post production, people say like, yeah, you shoot the movie, but when you're in post and you're editing, that's where you're actually making a movie. So when it came to that, do you like being able to like be a part of that process to like actually make the movie to be like your own voice, would you say? So like
You
like what's
know,
the thought process on that?
it's interesting that you say that.
Mhm.
My background is editing, made a living as a long time as an editor. And you got to remember, like, the mental space I've been in is I'm trying to get out of that lane completely and just be a writer director. But I'm telling you, man, there is that part of me. I know exactly the thing you're talking about, and I agree with you 100%. There's that sentiment that the real filmmaking kind of happens in the editing room. And I
Mhm.
believe that, and I feel that. And now that I've kind of seen what that looks like, I don't know that I'll be able to. I don't know. I was just talking about this last night. I don't know that I'll ever be able to just like, wrap a shoot and then give the material to an editor and be like, all right, I check in 6 weeks to see where you at. Like, I just don't know if I can drop the ball right there like that. I don't think I can check out at that point. So the rewrite, I did it out of necessity. Just, it was like a budgetary thing,
Mhm.
And also because I direct with the cutting in mind, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Mhm.
easy for me to know how to see it. It was not my intention to edit my own stuff though, man. That was not the intention. But I feel like even as I'm saying it, I'm laughing because I feel like that's where this is gonna continue to go because it just feels like it kind of happened organically. I think that's gonna be the way it plays out, you know. And I get to be on that super short list of directors that cut their own stuff, you know what I'm saying? Which is
Mhm.
a real short list, kind of an elite list too. I like that.
Yeah, you might have to start negotiating, deals with studios. I get final cut from now
Yeah, yeah, for sure. No
on.
doubt.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. I really love that. I truly, truly, truly dig that. So now let's get into the rewrite. What? So I love the film. So what? Tell us about the story of the film and what was the inspiration behind wanting to make this film.
Yeah, so the rewrite is a story about a sort of frustrated Hollywood screenwriter. Elliot Adams is his name. And Elliot, the film starts with this very confrontational interaction with the executives that are working on his script with him, developing his script with him, have just read the most recent draft. And they give him the note that his characters don't feel authentic enough. You know, Elliot, of course, hears this as authentically black, goes off the rails, like, who are these white people to be telling me what, questioning what authentically black is. So he then has an interaction with his manager or his agent, who is also secretly his cousin, although nobody knows they're related. And his manager, Linwood, he makes the prescription. His agent says, I recognize all of these characters as being people from your real life.
Mhm.
I think the way to fix your script is to go back and visit all of these characters individually, and that's how you're gonna bring the authenticity back to your piece. So this character is going on kind of two journeys of authenticity at the same time. He's sort of examining what black authenticity is, what that even means, but also his own internal journey of authenticity. Yeah, I think that's it, right? That's probably a good explanation
Yeah,
of it.
that's a real good explanation of the film, I'd say. Yeah, absolutely. And, just the revisiting of the characters throughout the film that truly inspired what he's writing about. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And just the journey of that we see our main protagonist go on throughout the film and just as he's learning and evolving with how he wants to go about with making his film and just the overall themes and lessons he learns along the way, I truly thought was awe inspiring. And like one of the themes I really gathered from it was like, the need for collaborate and being open to and listening to other perspectives. And I truly did dig that. So yeah, once again, thank you for that. So how was the overall production process behind the film and how long was the journey in getting this film made?
Man, the journey was not very long, believe it or not. It was, I was in a very unusual situation, very, fortunate situation. A production company I've been working with for a long time, been in some productions as an editor and producer, the place where I was, they knew I was trying to lead the company. They knew that I was really trying to go full force on my career as a writer director, and they really needed me to stay on to help them get this documentary produced. This thing that we were working on at the time, at a time when I kind of had one foot out the door. So the deal that we had kind of negotiated, I guess you might say, was that if I stayed on to help them get this documentary produced, that they would support me in something in exchange in a project that I wanted to do. And initially, man, I just wanted to do another short. I was like, I'm really trying to move my career forward as a director. I want to be putting something out every other year moving forward. I made The Mason Ring in 2021. That was on the 2022 festival circuit. And at the time, I was talking about making this short film in 2023 to be on the 2024 festival circuit. And they were like, okay, great. If that's what you want to do, that's cool. They said, but why not go for a feature instead of a short? And I was like, okay, well, I wasn't expecting that. A feature costs more money, but they
Yeah.
said, if show us a script that you're into and we'll talk about it. And I wrote the script and they read it and we all agreed it was the one. That happened pretty quickly. I will not lie. That was, I think that first script, probably gave that draft to them somewhere May, June, somewhere around there. And we were shooting this the following November. So that happened pretty quickly. Very fortunate that happened very quick, so quick.
It's safe to say, yeah, everybody saw the vision behind the film and went along with it.
I think they were into it. Yeah. I think that, yeah.
Was there any challenges at all in the production of it or anything at all, would you say?
Well, the biggest challenge was we shot it really fast, man. Like
Mhm.
principal photography was only 10 days.
Oh, wow.
I know. Yeah, I know. 10 days. And then we went back for 2 more days of pickups, so 12 days total.
Mhm,
But 10 days, just to give your audience some context, just so they get it. Like the films that you watch all the time, most films, let's say they shooting 4 or 5 pages a day. So if you got a 90-page script, they're breaking that up. It's usually taking, let's say, 6 weeks to shoot something like that, and they're shooting about 4 or 5 pages a day. We were shooting like 10, 12 pages a day.
oh, wow.
So, which is a lot. And you've seen the film, so you know that's a lot of dialogue. It's
Mhm,
a lot of nuance, and we were only able to do that because the actors, they came in there and they hit their marks and they knew their lines and they just killed it, man. They were in it. They showed up like fully formed as these people. You know what I'm saying? Like we
I
didn't have
agree.
that time to like develop and explore the characters. We didn't have a whole lot of time to do any of that. So what they brought is what they brought. You know what I'm saying? And so that was the biggest challenge, just how fast we did it.
Okay, yeah. So, another reason why I asked that because there's a certain scene within the movie where I'm watching it at a certain location. I'm looking, I'm like, the Hollywood sign that they right under. And they don't play out there when it comes to that Hollywood sign and coming near. It's a whole bunch. So I'm curious. So how did you get to be able to film like
Man,
around that
so
location?
you even asking me that is like, I don't know. That was truly a blessing. That situation was truly a blessing because I had that scene. That scene was in the movie, in the script, and we didn't shoot that as a part of that initial 10 days of principal photography. We
Mhm,
saved that for the end because we knew we were gonna have to kind of like do some negotiating to get that and then raise some more money too, potentially. And I remember, my producer being like, "You might want to start thinking about an alternative to that Hollywood scene because the Hollywood sign scene, because that's probably not going to happen." And I'm like, I'm not gonna give up that easy though. We're gonna try to figure out how to do this. So I started reaching out to the various channels. I had to contact the Hollywood Sign Trust and then the Hollywood. Oh my, it was like three different individual entities: the Hollywood Sign Trust, the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, and then somebody else. And when I got, and I'm sending emails out to I sent an email to the Hollywood Sign Trust, and I get on the phone with the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, and they were just like, "Yeah, that shot you want is about $100,000 shot." And I said, "Well, we're only making $100,000 movie, so that ain't gonna happen." He was like, "I'm sorry, yeah, no, you can't do that." He said, "We have to the logistics of it. We have to pull people down the hill with a rope and like if there's safety concerns and all of this." So I'm like, "Man, there's no way you can work with me on this." He's like, "I'm sorry. No, it's just no, not for this low budget indie." So I'm just so disappointed over this. And I call my producers at the time and I'm telling them what's going on. They're like, "Well, don't give up. Maybe we can do some green screen, something," because they're hearing how disappointed I am. And I'm
mhm.
just sitting there like, "Damn, man, do this." Like this would have been the first big fail in the whole process. And the phone rings, and this woman, she said, "Yeah, my name is Betsy. I'm calling from the Hollywood Sign Trust." I said, "Ma'am, I don't want to waste your time." I said, "I just hung up with the people at the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce. They told me what this is going to take. We're a low budget indie. We don't have the resources for that." And she stopped me. She said, "Well, wait a minute, wait a minute. They don't have the last word. We have the last word." So she's like, "What is it you're trying to do?" And I'm explaining it to her. And she's like, "Well, it doesn't sound very complicated." She's like, "Why don't you put everything you want in a very detailed email and I'll talk to my team." And she came back like 2 weeks later and they were like, "You can get your shot. We'll let you get your shot." But hold on, there's another part to this story, right? And I have to share this.
Go ahead.
So we went up to get this shot at the Hollywood sign. It was the very last thing that we filmed. It was the last day of the 2-day pickup shoot. And because that happens kind of at magic hour and it's changing from day to night as he's sitting up there and it's happening, it was the very last thing that we shot. So we're up there and the whole crew was coming up to the sign and it was like being up in heaven. I'm not even lying. It's like we're surrounded by clouds and you just look down and see it's really crazy this view when you're up there. So somebody was like, "How did how the hell are we doing this? Like, this is crazy." And the woman who she was the site rep from the Hollywood Sign Trust. And so I kind of turned to her and said, "Yeah," I said, "It's really the Hollywood Sign Trust. They were kind enough to let us do this." I said, "It was really Betsy, who made this possible." And the woman who's standing there, her name was Megan. She said, "Well, I have very difficult news." I was like, "Okay." She was like, "Betsy was my mother-in-law. She had cancer. She passed away just a couple of weeks ago, but she worked right up until the very end And one of the things she said that was like, "Make sure this guy gets this shot. He wants it at the Hollywood side." Dude, we were literally like choking up there. We were like, like I was literally like blinking back tears. My unit production manager was there, just like, "Oh my!" Like it was crazy. It was crazy. And I remember like, I don't know, just that from that moment on, man. Like, yeah, we just blessed, man. You know blessings when you see them, when you
Yeah.
contact with them. So could not believe that happened. So she got a special dedication at the end of the film. Betsy Israelite is her name, and yeah, we have an email out to the Hollywood Sign Trust right now, inviting them to the screening next week, asking them to come see it. We haven't gotten a response yet, but I'm sure they'll be there. I'm hoping somebody.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. God sat
Yeah,
there and said delayed,
great.
not denied for that one. For
Yeah,
that was that was an amazing story to hear, man. Wow.
right. Crazy, right?
It was well worth it too, because it looks great on film as well. So it was hella dope to see how it all came to fruition.
It's interesting that you say that because initially both the producers and my DP were like, you were just high when you wrote this one night and you fixated on this. We don't need to do this. Like it's not that big. But then both of them, when we went up and did the scouts and we went up to the location, they were both like, okay, yeah, we got to get this shot. Like we see why are working hard for this the way you are, basically. So, and it was unanimous, man. Like we were all just like, yeah, we got to make this happen, especially when it aligned the way it did.
Yeah, it seemed like, man, just whole everything you've been telling me about this production process for this film, literally everything just fell into place like it was supposed to work out. This film was supposed to be made.
It
God
has
said,
felt
like,
like that.
God
Yeah.
sat there and said, like, nah, we need this film. I'm finna make a way for each and every way. Nothing's gonna get in your way. This shit's finna come out.
It does feel like that. It does feel like that. I'm not.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear. But yeah, so with the premiere coming out, what should audiences take from this movie when they watch it?
What should audiences take from this? I think audiences should take that, and we say this all the time. We know it to be true, but we're not a monolith, you know what I'm saying? Like black culture is so dynamic and it's so multifaceted, you know what I'm saying? Like let's demand that filmmakers show us some different representations of ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
I got like a couple of different buzzwords I use. I kind of use them as manifestos. I'm over the trauma porn and the poverty porn. I don't want that
Yeah,
more of that. And then I'm kind of anti what I call urban more of the same. We know that same shit we done just seen a million times
yeah,
before, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, even in this, when I was looking for comps and examples, I couldn't think of a whole lot of other films where I even saw like a young black dude who was a writer as the lead character in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought about Lorenz Tate as Darius Love Hall and Love Jones, but there's not a lot of examples out there, you know what I'm saying? And like even in there's a scene in the film where Elliot is looking up at kinda like his holy trinity on his shelf of people who are his idols, and it's like Spike Lee, Richard Pryor, and August Wilson. He looks at those 3. Even in trying to that's kind of a mashup because I couldn't think of, like, one seminal black screenwriter figure that if you saw that person's figure, you would be like, "Okay, I know who this guy is. I know who his idol is. I know what he's trying to do." Like, it's you know, we gotta I would like to see some more interesting representations, particularly of black men. And I gotta say, man, that's why it was meaningful to me that your review resonated the way it did. Because like this is a young brother looking saying this is a different portrayal of a black man and something that made you feel like it was speaking to you and it was a reflection of your experience as a writer and as a creative. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
that
absolutely.
was
Yeah,
meaningful, you know?
yeah, it's like that's what it means. Because when I always say this film is subjective and it affects us in multiple different types of ways, and if this film in particular just affected me in this specific way, inspired me and had me look into like collaboration, like damn, it really did touch me, and I really
Oh
like the
man.
characters within this film and like all the positions that they're in. They're all in. They're all in pretty good places in their lives, and they're all trying to uplift and look out for one another and in those positions of power. And I truly did dig that and appreciate that because you don't really necessarily see that in a lot of
We
fictions. Like
don't, and why? Why not? Like, why not? You
I
know?
know the only one I could truly think of that I know of as of late is the Best Man franchise. That's the only one I could truly think
Yeah,
of when you really
yeah,
think about it.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, an ensemble cast of young Black folks, like, just living their life and doing their thing and not necessarily trying to be positive. They still got flaws, they still got their
Exactly.
stuff, but professionals, working on what they're doing, kind of living their truth. I think that's true. That's another good example. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's more I certainly don't think there's any shortage of us wanting to put forth these representations. I do think we still got issues with the people at the top who have the green lighting abilities and,
Mhm.
their inability to do it. I mean, look at how groundbreaking Insecure was. Who knew there was so many awkward Black girls out there? You know what I'm saying? But that
Yeah.
was like so many Black women were like, yo, thank you for reflecting my experience. I think that with this film, with everything I kind of try to make, it's young Black men existing in the world is not sort of the same ways we always see us when we turn on the television and when we go see a movie.
Yeah, this movie. Yeah, I won't lie. I immediately, well, as soon as I watched the movie, man, I started jotting down all these notes and script ideas in my phone immediately after watching. Like, yeah, we finna get back to writing after this.
Okay, okay, okay,
I'm like, in a minute, watch. I'm finna write this script. I'm finna pitch Terry to be the director.
okay, okay. Bro, it's the power of like that representation and seeing yourself in something, you know?
Hmm. Absolutely.
Can't underestimate that. It's important.
Yeah, but this is your big moment coming up, man, in just less than a week, 6 days away. So I gotta ask, what are your feelings currently leading up to the LA premiere on Friday? First narrative feature, LA red carpet premiere, man. That's nothing to sneeze at.
It's a little I mean, I'm gonna have some nerves, I will say that. I mean, Imma tell you now, I haven't been to what, 6 different festivals. I don't enjoy, sitting there with the audience watching it. I've learned that part,
I
because
get what
it's
you
just too
mean.
nerve-wracking, you know what I'm
I
saying?
get
Like,
what you mean.
you analyze, "Oh, they didn't laugh at that," or they did, so, "Oh, why they laughing at that? Are they laughing with us or at us?" Like, it puts you in the whole headspace, so I'm preparing myself for probably the biggest dedicated crowd we've had, and also our entire crew being there. But more than anything else, man, more than anything else, I'm excited and I'm grateful. You know what I'm saying? Like this film is the film is resonating with people, which means something. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna kind
Mhm.
of I'm gonna will myself to get out of my own head, my own crazy neurotic brain, and just kind of be with that, be in that energy. You know what I'm saying? Just and enjoying it with the crowd. So
I'll be right there with you. Like, yep, man, take this all in.
yeah, looking forward to it, man.
Have you been able to like just reflect on like just this whole journey, just your whole life be living in LA, starting out in the field that you in, and then going on to your filmmaking journey? Short film, winning awards back in 2022. Your film, spinning the block, Martha's Vineyard, and now the LA red carpet. Like, what's them reflections been like, if any at all?
It's funny that you asked me that because last night I just went to a film independent event last night. I'm very much involved with that organization. I did the Mason Ring as a part of Project Involve, which is a film independent program, and
Mhm.
then I did their episodic lab. They were the fiscal sponsors of the ReWrite. They've been, just I'm always love being a part of the organization. And they had a mixer last night, and somebody else asked me a similar question. And what I said was, and this is the truth, sometimes you be so deep in it, just the day-to-day of it, sending emails, just I mean, even this past week, yeah, it's been fun thinking about the screening, but also it's just me and my producer going down the guest list, making sure making sure everybody's there. Like it's not glamorous all the time. We're doing the day-to-day, the kind of nuts and bolts of it. So because I've been so entrenched in that for so many months now,
Mhm.
I'm just now starting to have these moments of like, damn, we did this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. So yeah, you've been able to just sit there. Like, I know it had to hit you, like when you was at Martha's Vineyard, just seeing that best narrative. Like, bro, I was just here a few years
yeah,
ago for my
man.
short film.
That felt crazy. That was crazy and totally unexpected. I just couldn't even believe that happened. I was shocked, man, really shocked. Cause I just honestly, I assumed, and I told them this, I assumed the film even got in just because the Mason Ring won. It's like all of these festivals are like, once you're in, you're part of the family. So when it got in, I was like, all right, I knew it was gonna get in because of the Mason Ring. And then it got nominated. I was like, hold up, somebody actually likes this joint. And then I remember first when I first arrived, one of the first parties I went to, I went up to one of the founders of the festival, Stephanie Rance, who's so sweet. And I was like, hey, Terry Dawson, remember me? And she was like, mm-mm. I was like, the Mason Ring 2022. She was like, oh yeah, I remember that. That was a great show. I said, and now I'm back with the rewrite. She was like, that? I was like, Oh, this is crazy. So that was like, okay, so now it's in here on its own merits, you know what I'm saying? They didn't even remember the Mason ring, you know, which
Mhm.
is both good and bad, you know what I'm saying? But so when it won, I was just like, it was crazy, man. Like it was definitely it was surreal. I could not believe it when they announced it, man. I could not believe it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm loving seeing it, just being on this festival run, and then you was the world premiere at ABFF back in June, and it's supposed to be doing a pop up in LA in December. Has there been any talk of the rewrite being having a screening or pop
No,
up at all? At all?
I think I just saw it's not in the pop-up. I think the feature that won, I think
Mhm.
Meditate one is the one, which I know that filmmaker, right? And
Okay. Oh yeah, that's my guy. Oh yeah.
yeah, John Deere, who's dope. Yeah,
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 I
yeah.
see. Well, I think I seen them. They're doing their screening in Atlanta because that's where they're based at for sure. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's why I was asking, like, because it's in LA and whatnot, like,
Oh, wait, did the Atlanta one happen already? I mean, no, the LA
no,
did not
it's coming in a few weeks in November.
You're right about that. They did New York and then Atlanta, and then so I haven't heard anything about LA.
Yeah, yeah, it has been quiet. It's supposed to take place mid-December, so that's why I was like, the rewrites based in LA. It's on this festival run, so like,
That's a good
why
idea.
not have it screen?
You might be encouraging me to send an email after this.
Hey, listen, I put the fish flicks work behind to get more people to see it, so it's only
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
It's a layup of a move right there. So pop up LA, why not? Absolutely. So yeah, let's go ahead and look ahead, man. Let's go back in detail. I'm gonna mark it. Yo, the LA premiere is coming this Friday at the Michaud Film Festival out in Culver City. Make sure you all can be there. It's scheduled for 6:45. But you all know, be smart with your time and be on the lookout for that LA traffic. So you might want to be there around of like 4:45. Damn there.
Oh,
Yeah, is there anything else you want to elaborate or give details about the premiere at all that people want to know?
no, so we'll be doing the premiere at 6:45. We're gonna do a Q&A afterwards, which should be cool. We're excited to kind of get our crew together. We're gonna do a little celebration toast, you know,
Hmm.
somewhere right around there in the area. I won't say where, so everybody don't come flooding the venue, but you know, a little low-key after party. We'll do that, and then gonna enjoy that celebration weekend. We got nominated for 6 awards. I won't say which ones yet, but we're in 6 different nominations. What show is Sunday, so that whole weekend is gonna be just a really good time, man. And then I'm also I'll give you a little, what you call this, a sneak preview or like some kind of, I don't know, new news, a break or something like that. But
Hmm.
I'm gonna announce that night that we got distribution and we drop on November 21st on all platforms. So that
Sir,
everyone else will learn that then you are getting, what's the word, man? What do people say when they give you the scoop? I'm giving you a
the
scoop right
scoop.
now.
Yes, sir. I got the exclusive. You heard it here
Yeah, got
first.
the
The
exclusive.
distribution is on the way. Announcement coming at the premiere. It's that
Yeah.
time, and congratulations on getting that distribution. I can't wait. More people do need to absolutely go check this film out when they get the chance, and I hope you all go out, man. Just pull up, man. Just come pull up. Say what's up. I'm gonna be there. Terry gonna be there. We're gonna watch a great film. We're just gonna have a great time, man. Come out, support some good indie cinema.
And please do. Absolutely, man.
Yes, sir, man. We should know. Like, you don't got to go into details about it, man. But you already got your wheels in mind in motion about what your next project's gonna be.
I do, man. Yeah, I got a really dope script that I gotta do a little bit more work on before I start talking about it too much. But I've got, you know, a project I'm hoping to be making next year. So I would say the calculus is always bad. I'll just, share this because I know we talking to other filmmakers, we're in front of a filmmaking crowd.
Hmm.
For me, I feel like the calculus is always, or like the move is always, like we think of Moonlight is the film that put Barry Jenkins on the map. That film has like the unique distinction of being the lowest budget best picture winner in history. I think the budget for that was only 1.5 million. Before that, he made Medicine for Melancholy, which was his micro budget feature. I could go on and on. So like I think as I was making the rewrite, which is my micro budget feature, I was
Hmm.
already the wheels were already spinning. Like what's the perfect like follow up project in that like $1 to $3 million the story, this dynamic, saying something different. So I think I know the one I've landed on. I'm pretty sure I want to kind of, get it in a little bit more solid shape before I talk about it too much, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
that's the one I'll be making next year. That's the
yeah.
plan, please.
Yes, sir, man. We gonna be excited to see whatever comes next. The premiere, the rewrite this Friday once again, Michaud Film Festival, Culver City, and with more stuff along the way that we are absolutely excited to be on the lookout for. The future is bright for you in this industry. Absolutely, the future is bright. We're gonna be seeing you on the big screen, small screen, whichever. You got a long time supporter in me now.
I appreciate that, man, and I'll
My
be able to
fave
say
indie filmmaker now.
I appreciate it, man. I'll be able to say you gave me my first really dope review, man, and let me know that what I was trying to do was the mission was accomplished. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, man. Likewise, because like this is what Fish Flicks was always all about, man. Is my love and passion for film, and just it's being able to be on the attend these film festivals the first time ever this year, and just really being able to see the various arts and projects on screen, and then projects like yours with the rewrite, and just being able to inspire and encourage for me, man. This is what it's all about: to uplift, support any and all filmmakers, directors, writers, producers, editors, actors. We want to go ahead and give everybody the platform to showcase their art and give them some love and shine as much as possible, man. So that's what we're here for, and I'm happy to do this at any time, man, for any future projects, no doubt about it.
well, let me ask you, who are some filmmakers you like? Who are your heroes and your I'm just curious because I'm
Oh,
looking at your
man.
space, I'm like, and I know some of the things you referenced earlier, you know what I'm saying? Like before we hit the record button, you know, where's your taste at? What are you liking that's out right now?
Man, me, I'm a diverse guy when it comes to films, honestly. So, I love me some John Singleton, man. God rest his soul, what he was able to do. What else? I'm a big Quentin Tarantino guy for sure, no doubt about it, because just his signature style. Lately, I've come to appreciate some more James Cameron as well.
Okay.
I wish he would get out of Pandora land for once because he's 70.
Feel pretty. I mean, they feel pretty good when you look at it.
Yeah, I do like that Dolby 3D, I won't lie. But then, my the guy who honestly for me, and his film came out, I wanna say I was in the 8th grade around this time, 2013, one of those, and just seeing what he was able to do with that one little film, and and just just the weight of it all, how it felt in Fruitvale Station by Ryan Coogler. I
Yeah.
just knew from the get-go after watching that movie, and just knew if he was gonna be on the way up, and then he followed that up with Creed as well. I was like, "Yeah, this is my guy," and I was lucky to meet him at UNLV back in 2019.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
hella dope being able to meet him. So yeah, I'm a diverse guy when it comes to filmmakers: Tarantino, Nolan, Singleton, Spike Lee, and then genre-wise, I love my dramas, I love my crime thrillers. I'm a big superhero guy as
Okay.
well. I've low key been starting to appreciate some more sci-fi and horror of it all, just from the like pure creativity through it and being able to tell stories through that lens, storytelling as well. So, like I said, I'm a jack of all trades with film.
Why you say recently? You feel like you weren't feeling that before? Or you
Yeah, I'd say like honestly, more so with horror, I'd say, because when I was growing up, it was like the mid 2000s and whatnot. It was a whole bunch of like torture porn, same old stereotypical cliche type horror. But really within this new age of horror that I've been noticing with like that blend of horror thriller, I've truly been digging it. Like with film, I just recently watched The Black Phone 2 last night. That was really good. I truly dug that. And actually recently I watched Barbarian for the first time. I was like, yo,
okay,
I did
okay.
not watch this in a theater. I was bullshitting about watching that. And Weapons too. So I've been coming along to appreciate more and more horror and seeing what these filmmakers can do. Like, and even with like how they are able to blend in comedy with horror, just because like these situations that they're in is like kind of so ridiculous and so wild,
Yeah.
to where it can kind of be funny. And that's why I had a great time with the monkey as much as I did earlier this year. So it's
You go
been
to the movies a lot?
say it one more time.
You go to the movies a lot?
But yeah, I'm at the movies like 2-3 times a week.
No, that's good, man. I asked that because I feel like, I try to make a goal to see one movie a week in theaters, and I think that's important, man, and it's rare these days because, like, it's a dying craft, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
and I'm telling my friends all the time, I'm here in LA and we're in this town where shit is so dry. I'm like, why y'all not going to the movies though? You know what I'm saying? Like when I tell them I go see the movie a week in theaters, they're like, dang, how do you find the time? And it's like, you got time to go to the movies. What you
You
talking
make
about?
time for what you wanna
Exactly, yeah, it's like this is our craft, our business, you know what I'm saying? You gotta go support it, so
especially
2,
with
3
these
times a week is
subscriptions like
great. I
A-List.
love that.
Yeah, especially like my AMC A-List, that's what'll really be keeping me in the movies a lot, so I'll be using my little 4 movies a week as much as I can.
Same here, man. I feel like, if you go to the movies twice a month, the app pays for itself. The membership pays for itself pretty much, so
Mhm.
and I think that 4 times a week is new. It was 3 times a
Yeah,
week,
it was
so
3, but it was and that addition of 1 more just did so much, like, people don't
sure.
understand
Heck
with
yeah.
scheduling wise, and so now, honestly, for me, I'm trying to, like, branch out and explore alternate, like, types of theaters and whatnot just across the country, not just AMC, like, Tarantino's theater and whatnot. I'm really sad I missed out on the Cinerama, man. I'm really sad.
I think that's gotta be coming back, though.
I hope so.
I think so, because that's such a, like, an institution, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's been
Yeah.
around forever. I
Like,
mean,
that's history right there.
for sure. I was gonna ask you something.
Go ahead, ask away.
Oh, Tarantino has, like, an exhibit in town. Have you heard about this? Or like a it's like a Quentin Tarantino, immersive experience. It's like, dedicated to, like, his film legacy, which I
Yeah, he essentially has his own little movie theater out there in LA.
yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't been there yet. I'm BSing. If I can make the time this coming weekend, I will. But one of these weekends, Imma just go. But yeah, he practically just has his own like little theater where he does like showcase his film. So
Okay.
like the Grindhouse double features and whatnot. So it seems like a pretty like cool and fun little intimate thing. I'm gonna look more into that for sure. So yeah, the theater industry, man, it's 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 very wild, and people think it's dying, but I think at the same time it's kind of evolving to try to stay alive.
Yeah,
So we shall see how it evolves. But
I'll see.
yes, sir. But yeah, thank you so much for being here today for this conversation. This was a whole lot of fun, learned a whole lot more. Once again, reiterating the Rewrite LA premiere Michaud Film Festival in Culver City this Friday, 6:45. Be there if you get the chance. Terry,
Brilliant.
man, thank you so much, man. Go ahead. If you want to let people know where they can find you on social media, go ahead and let people know.
Yeah, so my handle is the real dot Terry Dawson on Instagram. That started out as a joke because I feel like one day I Googled Terry Dawson, all the dudes came up with like country ass white dudes. I was like, oh, black dude named Terry Dawson. So the real Terry Dawson on Instagram, and then that's the only social media. Oh yeah, you can look for the rewrite. Go to the rewritefilm.com.
Mhm.
Soon to be on Apple and YouTube and Google Play and the usual suspect streamers. So yeah, look out for my film November 21st, everybody. Please check it out. I hope you enjoy it. I believe you will enjoy it.
And the links to his Instagram pages and the IMDb profiles of the Rewrite, along with his filmography, will be linked down into the bio. If you want to learn more about any of his past projects and keep up with the following him, it will be on the link in the bio. So be on the lookout. But yes, thank you all so much for being here today and witnessing this conversation, man. Keep talking all things film and TV. Keep flicking it up and keep being real. I'll talk to you on the flip side.